welcome back. I hope you all had an enjoyable break. So tonight we're going to move on to the general evaluation session, which will be hosted by our general evaluator. Can we invite Visionary Communication Level 2 Wilson come up to the stage, please?
Once again, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hope you have a good 5-minute break.
Yeah.
And this is where we learn. So, first, I would like to ask upon the table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Nazri Sama, to give his evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, and I hope you all had a great time during this speech. For tonight, we have 3 speakers in answering Amar's theme for the table topic, which is qualities of a good leader. So first, Chirong answered the question of what bad habits do you want to break? Philip, what is the number 1 quality that makes someone a good leader? And Dina, what motivates you to do your best? And here is my evaluation for them. During my introduction, I mentioned that I would be commenting on their structure, but looking at everyone's question, including our first time table topic answer speaker, everyone did a pretty good, had a structure. So they had a classic structure of introduction, statement, elaboration, and conclusion for some, and one person did not have any conclusion. Let's start with Chirong. He had an introduction, statement, conclusion, / also a slight elaboration in his conclusion. Let me explain. He started with an intro of saying that he has no habit, which is a great way to stall if you don't actually have an answer. But eventually he actually had an answer, which was that he would like to be more organized. He then proceeded to give an example of the list of tasks, give an example of how he would like to be organized, but he concluded by summarizing that why being more organized would help in his life. My recommendation for your room of improvement would be for you to elaborate your statement as you were on the right track. Saying why during your conclusion was kind of a mismatch for me, because I was okay. I was more curious of how would this actually improve more of your life, and I would be more interested in it rather than hearing it during the conclusion. My recommendation would also be take your time before starting to answer the question, and I think that would make you structure your answer quite well. Next, Philip. Philip, he answered the question with an introduction and elaboration how he is gonna answer the question by saying you have to look at where the person is going, or why and why not the person is going right there. Then he went with a statement, but due to time, he came up with a statement at the end of it. He didn't have time for conclusion. I like that Philip repeated the question, which is another great way to come up with an answer if you don't have an answer yet. And also he elaborated how he came to think how he would want to answer the question. And his statement, I believe, in the end was to be a great lead. One of the great leader was to have a burning passion of desire, which his example was at Tarwana. Unfortunately, he didn't have time to. Unfortunately, he didn't have time to come up with an elaboration why and how such quality would actually answer the question, make the person a good leader. That was due to him answering at the right of it. My recommendation for you would actually also, same as Chirong, take time to think of an answer, stick with it, and elaborate on it. You don't have to actually say something straight after as you're giving the topic. And finally, Dina. Can we just give her a round of applause for the I think she did a really good job with her first time. I like that she straight away knows her answer. Mother, my mother. And unfortunately, she passed away, and she elaborated on how, while her mother was still alive, that her mother motivated her to volunteer, right? My recommendation for you would actually be to, after she elaborated on on her mother, she also elaborated on how her current motivation is different now because of the passing of her mother. She was talking about her students, and that kind of led me astray. So it's not your current. So you strayed away from answering the question because it's not your current motivation as well. So my improvement for you is just to stick to one answer and elaborate on the answer. It could be straight away you could say your mother, and then you say why, and then give example of how, and you elaborate more on your answer. But I think for your first timetable topics, and that was a great attempt to it. And hands up, round of applause for everyone.
Toastmaster Madrid, I'll give the evaluation later on during my evaluation section. Next, can we invite Toastmaster Amar? Mirza to announce the best table topic speaker for tonight's meeting.
As I counted each and every one of your votes, I got excited there all by myself. He's gonna win! Oh! The votes were really close, so give a big hand for all the 3 speakers. But there can only be one best table topics speaker of the night. Thank you. Drum rolls, please. And please Philip stand up.
Each and every time, I feel very small. To receive such a great honor. I'll work harder next time.
I'm gonna pass the floor back to Wilson Kong.
Next, to hear the first prepared speaker evaluation, may we invite Toastmaster Lim Mei An to give an evaluation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
For those of you who do not know Tawana sitting over there, this is Tawana's second speech, for which I'm pleased to observe that you have continued maintaining good momentum. Why is that? You continue planning for what I think are very interesting materials to share with everyone. And I think that you also give your speeches adequate attention for the last fortnight. Thank you for that. Everyone, I think that tonight's speech highlighted 2 areas of excellence that displays Tawana's strength. Number 1, clarity. I think we can all agree that she spoke very clearly, very articulately. At the same time, it was easily understood. Her second strength is vocal variety. It goes without fail that when she stands up here, it was very easy to absorb her stage presence. She just exudes it so much. She has a natural flair for stage presence. With that said, now, what can I suggest to make Tawana's speech even better? I believe the improvement lies in structuring. Why is that? Number 1, we started off with a presentation that informs us that the presentation will have 3 parts, of which the first one is what is the middle child syndrome. Myself as an audience, until now, I don't quite get what is middle child syndrome. It wasn't actually made very clearly. I know what middle child syndrome is from this speech project only if I thought about her whole first section. I think about whole person. Oh, firstborns are these characteristics. They are all positive. Youngest born are all these positive traits. And then she purposely puts in negative traits predominantly in the middle born. Then that's how I understood my middle son trait. I have to synthesize it, that middle child people tend to have more seemingly negative traits. So this information is to be synthesized. So in my opinion, I think it could have been made more directly so that when someone comes in, and the point is, when you ask them, what is middle child syndrome? They could tell you straight away. I can't tell you straight away what middle child syndrome. Can you? I will have to synthesize it. I believe this opinion is shared by a few members in the audience. The improvement would lie in trying to avoid letting the audience indirectly comprehend what you're trying to say about middle child syndrome. Number two, the message of the story of the whole speech, the informational and the narrative bits. I think the point you're trying to make is that birth order or pecking order doesn't define characteristics. But this is not quite made clear in the first two parts. So for such a message to come out right at the end, it's a twist of a plot. And I'm not quite sure this fits this style. So perhaps a way to get around this is to be clear right from the very beginning. It may loosen the dramaticness of the speech, but because I believe your speech is more informational, that style could be dampened down and it could be more information, even if there would have been less flair. I think that by structuring this could also, allow you to avoid running over time, because I believe your speech, kindly noted by my neighbor, took almost 10 minutes. Without further ado, let me return the floor back to General Evaluator Wilson Paul.
Nice. Can we invite our second prepared speech evaluator? Presentation Mastery Level 4, Pat G.
Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen. When I started out just now, I explained that I would like to evaluate Shatra based on 2 points. Number one, the speech, whether it invites any interesting Q&A. Secondly, whether she facilitated the Q&A effectively. Now let's get into it. First off, the speech. Without doubt, I'll say Shatra did a great job at choosing the topic. It's a very polarizing topic, to say none the least. It invited a lot of very interesting questions. A lot of us are not very familiar with split paralysis, so naturally, we have a lot of questions for that. And some of them are in the crowd that know what this is, and naturally, we want to know more as well. So very, very interesting topic choice. Well done, Shatra. In terms of the questions, whether it invited very effective and interesting Q&A, I'll say yes, it does. I'll highlight a couple of points that I feel that Shatra did well, and I'll highlight a couple of points that she could do better if she do another Q&A session in the future. Now, what did she do well? Number one, she really, really knows her topics. A lot of the questions that was being brought forth by the audience members, I sat there and I wonder, what are you talking about? But she knew exactly her topic matter, and she just answered them as a matter of factly. So well done in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your research that you did to go into answering those questions. So well done, Shatra. Secondly, she was very well in tune with audience members who raised their hands wanting to ask questions. For example, just now, Chirong and I forgot another person raised their hands simultaneously, and Shatra attended to Megat. But she did not forget about Chirong, and she allowed Chirong to ask questions subsequently. Audience awareness is very, very good. So well done again on that, Shatra. And third, she did a very well-timed division in terms of speech and Q&A. And within the Q&A itself, she was doing very well in terms of timing and explaining and answering those questions and giving value to each of the questions. So well done. With that, you pass your project. However, any project, there are rooms for improvement. So let's venture and study them a bit. First thing, Shatra, I'll recommend let the audience finish their questions before you attempt to answer. For example, one of the things that Shannon did just now was asking about lucid dreaming, and immediately without letting him finish, you said yes. So that would have allowed him to actually ask what you intended to ask. One thing was, Tawana was actually asking how long does the REM sleep last? But you answered it lasts in terms of age. So there was a mismatch of understanding the question. So letting her finish the question would have allowed her to ask the question more appropriately. Secondly, explain tough terms. Again, this is a very polarizing topic. When Alma was asking white noise, I was thinking, what is white noise? So perhaps after you got that question, perhaps give us a brief explanation of what white noise is, what noise is, because you're the subject matter expert, so we can all be on the same footing in terms of understanding what it is. And lastly, close better. You were closing it quite abruptly. Perhaps just say, okay, we are going to take 2 more questions, so at least people are more well prepared that we are coming to an end. And also, perhaps you can say, if you have more questions and you are really curious about it, come talk to me later for a more graceful close. That's in my opinion. So those are a couple of points to help you improve for the next Q&A session. Otherwise, a very, very interesting session. Well done. And that back to you, G.
Okay. Now move on to my prepared speech evaluations. First is the table topic evaluator Najib. I like how you like to explain yourself. Like, for example, let me explain something. So that you are able to bring your idea towards the audience, which is a good point that we all need to learn. Because as for me, I feel that sometimes when we don't explain ourselves, we may lead to some misunderstanding of some of the audience. So keep it a small habit of explaining yourself sometimes. And I like how your evaluation is a sequence that the speakers can recap of what they are talking just now during the table topic session, and you made it point by point, and which is quite good, which is quite helpful for the speakers, I believe. So room for improvement. Since tonight is the first night that you did your first table topic evaluation, keep it up, and keep it up and try some more evaluation position role playing next time. Next is our Toastmaster Lim Mei An evaluating on Tawana speech. Where's she?
Yeah.
Oh! So, I like how Mei An mentioned she realized that one strength that she like to clarify on it, which is clarity, and one weakness, so it won't be too heavy on the speakers. So, but the time you spend on the suggestion is too long. I felt that I think you can give some more appreciation, like more the strength rather than because some people like to hear their strengths. Yeah. As for tab, I like how you recap on what you want to evaluate before you say your evaluation to to the audience. So, as your seasoned evaluators, I find that you are very inspiring. Therefore, I don't have any.
That can happen.
Next, can we invite our grammarian to have his report?
Hi everyone, I'm back with my report. To start off, it is worth mentioning the uses of the word of the day, namely Shahnur, Shatra, and Tarwana. Only three. So firstly, Shahnur, who said we can mushroom our confidence by practicing. Unfortunately, this needs improvement. It doesn't fit the context of an increase or growth spread of population or business area. So we can simply just say we can gain our confidence by practicing. Okay. Next is Shatra, with the phrase a sense of mushrooming darkness. This also unfortunately misfit from the meaning. If I may suggest, you could incorporate the word of the day like this. There have been mushrooming research areas in association to sleep paralysis. That would be fine. Okay. Next is Tarwana, who said, as much as they mushroom into adulthood, unfortunately, again, this doesn't fit the context. So, if I have to suggest, okay, you could have said, the eldest child get less idolized by their parents as the number of children starts mushrooming.
Oh, wow.
Okay. But well done, your effort is appreciated. Without further ado, moving on to grammatical correction. Let's get started from a speaker who said, due to my mother's passing away. It would be correct to say, due to my mother's passing. So just eliminate the away. Next is from the sentence, we strive on feedback from evaluators. So the preposition for strive should be for, strive for. Okay. Okay. Alright. So moving on. I think that will be all for the grammatical correction. So on a different note, I would like to mention a number of speakers who grabbed my attention, at least to me, with their English usage. For instance, Dina, right? Dina, who said to debunk the misconception in this topic. So I believe she was trying to say simply means to nullify the superstitious part of belief in sleep paralysis. So I feel it. I find it amusing, the word to debunk. I learned something new tonight. That's a grammarian. Yeah. Okay, so another one is from Tarwana, who said it would the word commonality, which means to share a feature or trait. I found this usage rare and it sounds aesthetic. So that will be all from me. I hope you got something to take home with. So that's all. Thank you.
So next on our list, may we invite the R counter and who said what?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and
Good evening.
Good I will start off by giving my R counter report. First of all, I would like to highlight a few speakers. They are Dina, Nazri, Iqbal, Tawana, Shatra, and Meitan. For Dina, I would like to commend you on your bravery and courage on standing here for your first table topic session. I noticed that there are frequent uses of R and in your speech, and you actually repeated the phrase decided to as well. So for your next attempt, I advise you to stay calm so that you will reduce the usage of the R and Next, Nazri, you have 12 ums. You tend to use when you try to think of what you're going to say, and you also use it after the word and. And this actually hamper your fluency, so try to stay calm and cut down the usage of when you think. Next, Iqbal, you have 6 and I believe you were still a bit nervous when you try to deliver your grammarian report. Just have faith in yourself and trust yourself that you will do well in delivering your report, and I believe by thinking so, you'll be able to reduce the usage of this crutch words. Next, Tawana, you have 5, so I suggest using alternative words like therefore, hence, thus, as a result, and you repeated the phrase you know as well. The next speaker, Shatra, I noticed that you tend to use the word however when answering the questions from the floor. I suggest using other words like nonetheless, nonetheless, nevertheless, or you can say regardless of this, I still think that it's possible to manage the sleep paralysis. Next, Mean, you only have 1 R and 3 I was really attentive. I noticed that you actually incorporated dental click when delivering your report.
What's that called again?
Dental click.
Dental click.
Yes.
It's to prevent the. Yeah. Oh, you can't.
When you were thinking what you are going to say.
My trade secrets are out.
Now, for the rest of the speakers, you only have a very few crutch words or pause fillers. Let me begin with Shano, you only have 3 so. Omar, you have 3 so. Shang, you repeated I will. Chirong, you have 1 Philip, you have 1 Tab, you only have 1 so. And last but not least, our GE, you have 1 R and 2 so. But you have very frequent pauses in your speech and evaluation. I suggest shortening your pauses so as to sustain the audience interest. Now, I see the yellow light. Let's move on to the Utsabat session. Okay, what's a bad habit that Chirong would like to drop?
Nothing.
Lack of planning,
Lack
right?
of planning.
Okay. According to Philip, who has the burning desire to be a leader?
Tawana.
Now, in Tawana's speech, what's the example character given by Tawana? Yeah, Beyonce, for the first one. Okay, one for me. Which one it tends to be self-centered? Firstborn, lastborn, or middle?
Youngest one.
Last one. And who tends to be a people pleaser?
Me.
The middle child.
Okay. Who used the phrase in a flash? Which speaker used the Yes. Now, one of the 4 stages in the sleep is REM sleep. What does REM stand for? Yes, very good.
Wow.
How many % of your sleep is REM sleep? 25. How can we deal? What are the 3 things that we can do to deal with sleep paralysis?
Sleep on the side.
Move your
Sleep on the
pinky.
side. Okay, do not sleep on your back.
Don't sleep on your back.
Move your finger.
Ignore it. No, you're wrong.
Move your finger.
Regulate your sleep
Yeah.
schedule.
Wiggle
And
your
I'd like
toe.
to know more about sleep stages and
Don't be depressed.
Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Next, can we invite our timer report? Timer, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, let us invite Toastmaster Lim Ken Sheng to deliver his report.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Now, I'm your timer and I will be delivering the timer's report. So, our SAA Wilson, he has started the meeting on time at 7:30, and he has thus the TMI, the Toastmaster International introduction for 3 minutes, and then the guest introduction for 1 minute 20 seconds. Shanor comes in at 7:34. He do his
introduction for 40 seconds, and then he introduced his role for altogether. Forgot to calculate. Anyway, Amar for 30 seconds, Nasri for 30 seconds, Iqbal for 1 minute and 50 seconds, Lawrence is 40 seconds, mine is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and Wilson for 50 seconds. Sorry. Toastmasters of Evening, TTE, Grammarian, R Counters, Timer, and GE respectively, if we don't call their name. And then Shanur begin his agenda at 7:44. He talked about his thought of the day all together for 2 minutes 20 seconds. And then the table topic session start at 7:47 and last for 10 minutes. And these are the table topic speaker. Chirong, you spoke for 1 minute and 32 seconds. Philip, you spoke for 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Dina, you spoke for 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And after that, the prepared speech session, we start at, follow right after that, 7:58. Mei-An, you have presented your role for 40 seconds. Ted G, you have spoken for 38 seconds. And, for Tawana, your speech lasts for 9 minutes and 40 seconds. And Shatra, your speech is 11 minutes and 30 seconds, but it lasts until 22 minutes and 10 seconds for the Q&A. And after that, our break start at 8:34, lasts until 8:39 for 5 minutes. Okay, and the general evaluation session, the TTE, Nasri, you have evaluated for 5 minutes altogether. You have given time to Chirong for 1 minute and 10, Philip for 1 minute and 20, and for Dina 1 minute and 40 is average there, around 1 minute. And Philip, the best table topic speaker, you have spoke for 15 seconds. And the evaluation for Mei-An, you have spoke for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That G, you have spoke for 3 minutes and 40 seconds for Shatra, and Mei-An for Tawana respectively. Oh. Wilson, you have evaluated on Nasri, Mei-An, and Ted G for overall 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Iqbal, grammarian report is for 3 minutes. And for our counter Lawrence, he has spoke for 3 minutes 10 seconds for the entire R counter, and 1 minute and 30 seconds for the Who Said One session, and I took 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And with that, back to you,
Sorry? 4 minutes 40 seconds.
So please cast your vote to Iqbal. So timer, please set me up for 4 minutes for my evaluation, starting. Good evening once again.
Good evening.
So the TME start the meeting with briefing before the meeting, so to give a heads up to every role players so they could prepare. And during the meeting, he is very interactive because he's keep on asking for response with us, and he has a very strong flow amongst the speakers, which doesn't stop the thinking track transition. As for Amar, you are a great host until you ask for the wrong audience. Yeah. So I think all of our role players, we need to be aware who is the role players for tonight. So Kit and I in a group chat that the TME has created, and get to know who's doing what. Next, I would like to comment on Grammarian, which is Iqbal, the best evaluator ribbon winner for tonight. I like how he gives alternative sentence and alternative sentence for the misused words of the day, but it doesn't sway away from the meaning that the speakers would like to share. And as for R counter, I like how you address each person and how they could learn from the R counter, because our standard R counter is just the numbers, but this is qualitative report. And as for the timer, the introduction is very comprehensive, which is quite good to let everyone aware of the timing, and it's very standard. For the report. And another thing I would like to comment on is that the speakers is standing here. So I think if you are standing here, which means the PowerPoint is the main focus. So try to eliminate that to make it as an optional thing. So the main focus is still on you, the speakers. As for the SA, no, I think he have been very. He need more practice now. So this is my general evaluation for tonight's meeting. I would like to pass out the stage to our Toastmaster of the evening. Again.
Alright, thank you very much, Mr. Wilson, for your general evaluation report. Before I pass over to the president, who's not here, first off, I'm going to say thank you to all my role players who agreed to take on the role, and also thank you very much to Lim Kyung Sheng for last minute taking up the timer role. 45 minutes before the meeting started. I hope also to sincerely apologize to you because I forgot to put your name over here. This is not.
Hi, I'm
Sheng,
playing now.
Sorry, Sheng, but it's okay. I'm learning from my mistake. And that's about it. Now I'm going to pass the floor to myself. As the first president. Okay, so the announcement of next week TME. Next week TME, we have advertisement over here. So the next week TME is drum speeches next week. Will be another from Tawarna, second speech by Wilson, and then from Iqbal. Our general evaluator will be Wang Printing. She's been absent for a very long time. I'm quite excited to see her back. Alright, let's go back. Now, I want to hear the guest comment. Can we invite the gentleman over there to give us some comment? What do you think about tonight's meeting?
So my comments are about how eye-opening this session was. I never knew about the levels that the club has, so I'm intrigued to get to know more and how very, what's the word, technical everyone is about their speeches. So yes, I'm looking forward to joining more of this club.
Thank you very much for your comment. We're going to see you next week, alright?
Yes.
Next, can we invite our next guest, Dina, to share us some guest comment?
Again, I think this has always been a learning experience for me, so I always look forward to coming here and sort of understanding the technicalities of speeches, and yeah, I hope to come again next week.
Next, can we have members' feedback? Okay, can we ask from the G first?
Just a bit of information for those new members who are not familiar. When we come to the stage, we don't cross over each other, so we maintain a very clean transfer of the stage. So last week there was a lot of crossing over. This week I noticed one or twice there's a crossover. So just in case you're not aware, just be aware next time. Whenever, if you come from that side, you pass someone from that side, you go around that side, even though your seat is here, you have to go one way around. So just to be a bit aware of that, so that we have a clean habit. Right?
We don't, like what Alan always said, we don't want to dance together when we cross-line with each other, alright? So tips for new member. Now, for members feedback, can we have Shatra?
It is my point of observation, and I would appreciate it if role players or speakers could walk quickly to the stage so we don't wait as long or we don't lose track of claps. And it would be better yet if the speakers or role players get ready to be outside or get called. That's it.
I do agree so much. Sometimes when the role player walks slowly, taking so long, don't be that role player. Just go walk faster. If you can run, just run. It's healthier for you.
Just be ready. Stay ready.
Stay ready.
Stay ready.
It's better than it. I actually want to ask members feedback from Sharon. Sharon.
But I guess, I don't know if everyone struggles with it. I know some of you are very enthusiastic, maybe they don't. But if anyone relates to me, I'm glad I came today. I learned something new and I mean, every time we come to Toastmaster meeting, we learn something. And I hope that we'll all work together, that we can come regularly together. That's all from me. I'm back to you.
Just a small thing. Could the slideshow be more focused? I'm worried because next week my speech I will be using the slide.
We can.
As you can see, we're having a makeshift.
This is the most focused one. This is the most focused.
I think we can switch off the.
The most focused. We can experiment on it next week. Okay, sure. Okay. So definitely, I can resonate with what people say. We're learning new things every week. So this week we're learning how to fight off demons on our sleeve. So great tips from Shatra. Thank you very much. Now, can we move on to any other business? Does anyone have any other business? Can we hear from Shatra again?
Remembers that the membership fees are due soon, so please do talk to me if you'd like to renew. Thank you.
You heard it? So whoever forgot to pay, there will be interest applied to you. Right? Okay, I also have one AOB, which is from Brunei Advanced Business Club. Brunei Advanced Business Club will be holding their meeting on this following Friday on 5th March. So the TAP will be Ong Ying and the speech will be delivered by Ruben Chin. So the people from BSC is asking us to support them. So maybe BSC member can come to support BASC. I think we also sponsor a member. Yeah, we also sponsor one member. We also sponsor 2 Brunei Speakers Club member to attend the club. 15% discount, $15 discount. Yeah, $15 discount. Okay, so if you're a member, please come. Huh? No fees actually. No fees, it's actually free. You just come. You don't have to pay the money. Discount from this month only. Promotion.
Just tell everyone the date, venue, and thing now. Yeah.
The date is on 5th March 2021 on Friday on Avenue 51, Kiarong.
Time?
Time 7:30 until 9:30. But you can mingle around. Do we have dinner over there? We have snacks. Okay.
Make sure you fill in your name. Rano, right?
Yeah. If you want to attend, please tell Rana that you want to attend. Okay, that's about it. Announcement of the best evaluator. This one is the best. fight. Okay, now for the dreaded presidential remark. Closing remark. Okay, so there are a lot of first timers here tonight. So we have Wilson as the first timer GE, and we also have Dazu Saman for the first time table topic evaluator. Personally, I think first time speaker, table topic speaker. Okay, thank you for addressing that. Personally, I think the table topic evaluator and general evaluator roles are one of the hardest roles to try on Brunei, on Toastmaster, especially if it is your first time. It's even harder if you have to evaluate and give some room for improvement for those speaker who is more experienced than you or better speaker than you. I can resonate with that. It's in that shoe as well. But I'm here to tell you, sometimes it's okay. It's okay for you to struggle. Like what Philip said, struggling is improvement. It's a sign of leadership. We as a Toastmaster member, we are all learning here. Just take some more evaluation roles, and eventually you will become sharper in detecting other people's room for improvement, and you can be able to highlight some of the speaker's strength. So please try again in the future. Do take more evaluation role, and you will be better here. Now to keep our president, poet, student. I have a poet also. Okay. Stop. Woo. Motivation keeps you going. Discipline keeps you growing. Like Chirong, we also want to be more organized and improve our productivity. I can relate with Philip. A great leadership quality is one who is struggling. Dear guests, please join Brunei Speakers Club because as youth, we have potential to lead our society.
Yeah.